Welcome back once again. Ever since this particular document was released that a particular judge in Enugu High Court gave reference to Nnamdi Kanu's self-determination and as well did what we call justice to Nnamdi Kanu's appeal ahead of the date being announced. And ever since Aloy Ejimakor made this pronunciation and posted it on his verified X handle, this has now called for a great celebration to Nnamdi Kanu. As sincerely speaking, a prominent person and a sincere prominent individual in the United States and alongside with the presidency have called for Nnamdi Kanu's release unconditionally because they have seen it that on or before now Nnamdi Kanu ought to be released because this man was outrightly breached on his fundamental human rights. Remember, Nnamdi Kanu has dual citizenship and this is the reason at which they are still speaking for him up to date. It is obvious that when you look at the judgment, as you could see on your screen, that self-determination is not a criterion, cannot even lead to what someone should need to be tried, talk more of being captured and sent to lifetime imprisonment. So this is what has led to the legal Latin maxim that states nothing stands on nothing. He who comes to equity must come with clean hands. I'm going to be showing you what this particular prominent US indigene stated recently, and this is a very clear indication showing that Nnamdi Kanu is free from everything that is actually being stated. And this person is Mike Arnold. And Mike Arnold has now recently joined force with the parliament and has called for the release of Nnamdi Kanu. I'm going to be showing you what he stated and other stories he made referencing what is actually happening in this particular country called Nigeria. Without wasting much of your time, I'm going to be showing you all of that. But before I do that, listen attentively to this particular statement and this clear indications where a Nigerian came out and stated that if the Nigerian government did not, release Nnamdi Kanu, then alternatively they should go for Shaka Ogumi because this is the same man who is standing as an intermediary between these same hoodlums called bandits and paying for their ransoms and all of that and aiding and even giving aid to them. Listen attentively to him and when we come.
If the Nigerian government did not arrest this man called Sheikh Gumi, then the same Nigerian government have to release Nnamdi Kanu. Yes, Nigerian government, you people need to come outside to tell us the offense of Nnamdi Kanu, and you people need to come outside to give us a vital point on why you people have not arrested this Sheikh Gumi, the only man that go to the bush to snap picture with bandits, the only man that go to the bush to negotiate with the bandits. You people need to give us the reason why you have not arrested this same man called Sheikh Gumi. What is the offense of Nnamdi Kanu? Why are you people holding Nnamdi Kanu up till now? What did Nnamdi Kanu do? Yes, what did Nnamdi Kanu do? You understand? The Nigerian government need to arrest this man called Sheikh Gumi. He's not different from the bandits. He's not different from Boko Haram. He's not different from terrorists. In fact, this man called Sheikh Gumi is the one sponsoring the bandits, the Boko Haram, the terrorists. I'm not scared. You people need to arrest this man called Sheikh Gumi. Come and come tell us what Nnamdi Kanu do when we arrest him. Nnamdi Kanu is only fighting for each people. What offense have the Nnamdi Kanu commits that you people are still holding him? Why not letting the man go? And this Gumi, he's been everywhere snapping pictures with the bandit, negotiating with the bandit, and the Nigerian government have yet to do anything about it. Just a lawless country. Shameless country.
Welcome back once again. You've listened attentively to the grievances and how a lot of persons have started reacting regarding Nnamdi Kanu's continued detention in Sokoto Correctional Center. This is a clear indication that if a judge or a court in the country has given a judgment over a case on self-determination, then what is the reason at which Justice James Omotosho upheld or stood on to actually sentence Nnamdi Kanu to lifetime imprisonment? As if that is not enough, this is now has gone like a growing call regarding Nnamdi Kanu incarceration, and this is the reason why Mike Arnold took it upon himself, called for Nnamdi Kanu's release, and other prisoners of conscience and told the Biafra story and the impending danger awaits this particular country in the hands of these Islamic jihadists. I'm going to be playing the video now for you to hear clearly what he stated. Sincerely speaking, this has now given rise to reason at which Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's appeal is becoming a very much victorious on the hearing date. Listen attentively to Makanod, what he stated regarding Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and other things. And when we come back, we'll wrap up.
And institutional corruption. Working with the Nigerian government to end the genocide is like working with the Third Reich to end the Holocaust. They smile and spin as they wait for Trump to leave office. Since CPC designation, killing and impunity have only gotten worse. Sanctions will not work. Visa bans will not work. They're ideologues, and they'll just pivot east. Intentional denial of recognition and aid to displaced people, intentional denial of recognition and aid in this circumstance meets the legal standard of genocide. This is provable. Indict the Tinubu administration. Arrest them. They're guilty of genocide. And it's provable. Conduct a valid census and evidentiary briefing of the displaced. They are our witnesses to genocide and they need help. Investigate the Sultan of Sokoto as a terror sponsor. Circumstantial evidence demands it. We know where the militant camps are. Wipe them out. Bring the enablers to justice. Demand the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and other prisoners of conscience. Offer asylum protection to them and others threatened by this regime. Ensure a free election in 2027. It can be done for the cost of a Tomahawk missile volley. Tinubu was declared the winner with less than 9 million votes in a nation of 230 million. A free election changes everything. Let the people vote on a new constitution and self-determination. Like so many other British colonial contraptions designed to fail, separation is likely inevitable, and it is just. The time is now. Nigeria is at a crossroads. It will become either a peaceful, prosperous ally or a massive launchpad for global jihad. There is no going back to the status quo. If the world turns away after this unprecedented scrutiny, the backlash will be bloody and absolute. The window is closing. We must call this what it is and intervene now, or the current genocide will grow and draw more innocent blood, not just there, but here in the United States. Thank you.
Wow, I gotta know you.
Welcome back once again. I believe you've listened attentively to Mark Arnold, what he has stated regarding Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. It is obvious that every indication is in the favor of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, because when you look at, as you could see on your screen, what Aloy Jumako posted on his verified X handle, this alone has vindicated Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, because looking at it, this is a judgment that was issued by Honorable Justice A.O. Onovo as at 2023, and it is clear in that particular clause a declaration that self-determination is not a crime. It is not a crime. It is not a crime in the constitution of this particular country, and cannot be used as a basis to even arrest. So those set of persons who masterminded Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's arrest, that is the more reason why, when you look at this particular politician, Malami, you begin to, ask questions why he's even having intention to join the coalition party, being ADC. These are the set of persons who made sure Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was renditioned from Kenya down to Nigeria, and made sure Southeastern region did not face what we call peace within that particular period in the last administration. So this particular judgment is clearly stating that the basis of arrest, talk more of even detaining him all through how many years, and how Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's trial has taken long overdue. Talk more of the prosecution and everything within the applicant is void. So if the particular country is obeying their constitution, Justice James Omotosho ought to uphold the judgment issued by this particular judge Onovo in 2023, instead of issuing a judgment contrary to the judgment that has initially been issued. Because if you're looking at other clauses, as you could see on your screen, and other mandating and compelling the respondents to jointly pay the sum of this particular amount. Remember, in the Kenyan judgment, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu won, where the Kenyan court issued a judgment and fined its own government, and as well stated that the rendition of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu from Kenya was faulty. So nothing stands on nothing. This is the law. The law speaks for itself. That is the more reason why McArnold and other persons have started calling on Nnamdi Kanu's release, stating clearly that a judgment has been issued before now. So the judgment needs to be upholded by Justice James Omotosho, but he failed to do that and obeyed the voices of his paymasters and did what he did. It's obvious ahead of Nnamdi Kanu's appeal, of which Nnamdi Kanu's lawyer, Jimako, Barrister Masoel Opara and co. have decided to file comprehensive documents, including this particular judgment issued by Justice Onovo regarding Nnamdi Kanu's incarceration and self-determination. With all indications, Nnamdi Kanu is going to appear victorious on that very much appeal date when it is being announced. I'm going to be bringing all of that in this particular channel. Ahead of that, if this is your first time meeting this channel, do it often, hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, click on the like button so you always get informations promptly when we drop them here. Don't forget to often and always type freedom for Nnamdi Kanu.